Sure. My name is Stuart McKeown. I'm one of the founders of Gleam.io. We're a marketing startup, SaaS-based business that helps businesses grow their own business via inbound leads, social leads, basically, anything that you can think of that you want to grow in a social aspect. Could be getting email addresses, could be getting followers, could be driving sales. We're kind of a modular app that lets you kind of extend, what you project, what you want to do from a marketing perspective. I met Lucy. She's a user of our app. So I think you ran, 3 or 4 campaigns? And we reached out to do a couple of case studies, which we're in the progress of doing at the moment. And you had amazing results for your clients, like 40-50% conversion rate. And we wanted to really understand how, what were some of the techniques behind why you run the campaigns, how you run the campaigns. Is it replicatable? Is there any learnings for small businesses? Because that's one of the questions we get asked most. As a small business owner, it's like, I have no idea about this stuff. What can I do? Or how should I best use your app? And not even that, from setting up a campaign, how do I promote it? And that depends on whether you're a small business or a big business. Whether you've got a lot of these businesses have 0 customers. Some of these businesses have thousands of customers. And obviously they see big businesses doing really well. They're like, how can I replicate that when I don't, I've got nobody? And those are the sorts of questions we get asked all the time. We try and answer it through case studies, a lot of documentation, that sort of stuff.
Like you just said, it also has its place in big business too. So how have you seen bigger companies use Gleam?
Yeah, in a number of ways. So obviously the way a big company will use the product is vastly different. They already have a foothold in the marketplace. They've probably got products that are quite mature. So they're either thinking about, how do I generate more sales? How do I generate buzz about a particular product launch? Or how do I maybe generate buzz or partner up with somebody else to, increase the reach of this particular product across a specific segment of customers? So a typical thing might be, say you're a big e-commerce store. If you launch a Gleam campaign, you might have an email list with 5,000, 10,000, a million people on it. It's quite easy to launch a campaign and just blast it to your email list, and you're going to get traction from your existing customers. That's if you're a big company, that's very easy, right? But then at the same time, they think more strategically about their campaigns. For example, there was a really, really good Twitter thread. I'll link it to you after this. Where I think it was MSI or one of the big computer brands. They went on Twitter and they said, hey, we're thinking about giving away this motherboard. Tag some other brands that you know. And I think they called it, they give it a hashtag. So they called it like paying forward or something about that. And then all these other computer brands started saying, I'm in, I'll give X, I'll give Y. And eventually they partnered up and they had enough computer parts to build like 4 full computer systems, which they then gave away. So I think sometimes you can think about, you can be very stuck in your own little circle. It's like, what can we do? What can I do? Or you can say, right, from a complementary perspective, how do we, because you're only reaching your own customers and you're sending them emails every day. Where are you going to get leverage is how can you look at this other segment, or how can you reach this other segment of customers that doesn't know about your brand? It's very easy just to reach to a complementary company, skincare. You might do face creams. They might do bath bombs or something like that and say, hey, how can we work together? You promote to your customers, I promote to my customers. We can exchange coupons, exchange emails, and do it that way. So big brands tend to look at that more strategic approach. But smaller brands, I think, need to also look at that strategic approach, because they have less people to promote to. So leveraging someone else's audience is probably better than throwing $1,000 at Facebook ads or something like that.
Give or pay campaigns fit into businesses who are more established?
I like to think of campaigns as you've got seasonal campaigns and you've got tactical campaigns. Right, so a seasonal campaign is a campaign that's targeted around a specific time of year or an event that happens during the year. So Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, How to Talk Like a Pirate Day, whatever somebody's birthday, whatever it might be. Those kind of campaigns are very seasonal and you can kind of plan them out very well. A tactical campaign is something that tries to achieve a specific goal. So for example, if you're launching a new line of products, you want your you could just post it on social media, on Twitter, here's our new products, Facebook, here's our new products. Or you could run like I see some people run like campaigns where they hype up the launch. So they'll count down to the launch, they'll run a giveaway campaign, they'll get people on their email list, and they'll give away some of the products that they're trying to promote. So if you're launching a new line of cosmetics, it launches in the fall, 60 days out, you create a campaign, you're building up buzz, you're getting people to share it, all these people are finding out about it, getting on your email list. And then when the product launches, you announce your winners. You might have 10 people that won the campaign, and then you can send out an email to the other 90,000 that didn't win with a coupon code saying, hey, sorry you didn't win, but the new products are out now, you can buy. So I think you got to think about tactical stuff to promote objectives, and then seasonal stuff to keep the lights on all the time and just promote your brand in general as well.
What trends do you see in successful campaigns?
I wouldn't necessarily call it trends, but the most successful campaigns are the ones that provide the user the most value. So what I mean by that is, think about it as a business. If you're giving away a prize, what is the most valuable thing that you can give away to the consumer? If I ran an e-commerce company and I was giving away a $100 Amazon gift voucher, number one, that product says nothing about my company. Sure, it's going to get me entries, but the entries are going to be very broad. You might get a lot of people like the sweepstakes entering. Whereas if I was a cosmetics company and I give away a bundle of my most popular cosmetics, maybe a session to come in and get made over. Think about prizes that provide lasting value and bundle it together. Then all of a sudden you have a much more attractive proposition. If Justin Bieber was going to give away front row tickets to his next concert, the campaign's going to go crazy. So think about things like that. Experiences do really well. If you're a club promoter, you're promoting, a music event, a meet and greet with an artist is something that's unattainable to a normal user. You can't buy that, so that tends to do a lot better than some tickets to the event. And again, partnering with other businesses to boost the value of the prize. A lot of businesses overlook this crucial component and then wonder why their campaign didn't do as well as it should have. So I think, in my mind, if that's one thing you want to do right, is find the value proposition. Once you've got that right, the promotional strategy should then fall in place around it. You should have a successful campaign, and that's generally what I tend to see.
What are you working on at the moment?
Lots of stuff, too much stuff. For us, we've obviously just redesigned our marketing front end site. We've launched new plans. Now we're kind of looking at the product itself. One of the things that we try and do is we try and think about ways to extend the product to provide more value to businesses, and that involves listening to customers. So what are some of the up and coming social networks that people are using? What are the types of segments of customers we're trying to target that we don't do very well in? For example, some of our competitors are really strong in reading and authors, people that write books. So we're exploring an integration with Goodreads, which is one of the networks there. We're exploring integration with Product Hunt at the moment, which is almost ready to go, and the ability to redeem coupons within the widget. So we're just trying to look at what people are doing in campaigns. So I'm not sure if you've seen, we have this action type. It's called custom action. So it basically allows you to create something that doesn't exist out of the box. So some people might say, hey, if you've shopped with us, leave us a review, or check us out on TripAdvisor or something like that. So we tend to look at things like that. What are people creating that doesn't exist? And are a lot of people doing it? Is there like something that we're missing? Because as a business, you sometimes, I'm not great when it comes to certain segments of the market, particularly fashion or, beauty or things like that. So you're looking at customer campaigns to see what they're doing and trying to build around that. So we're really trying to look at what actions and what we can add to the product to help customers in those areas. Secondly, we've got a couple of other products. We've got a rewards product, which is like an instant redeem. So instead of winning a prize, you get it instantly. We've also got like an email pop-up tool that we're focusing a lot on at the moment, that allows you to show pop-ups based on behavior. So it could be if this person's a customer and they viewed the members page and they're about to leave, show them this, versus just like firing it straight away as soon as they enter your site. So we're working on a lot of stuff. We're also redesigning our admin interface at the moment. That's a touchy area. That's something that worries me a lot. Reddit is redesigning at the moment.
Yes.
And that could be Dig. They could screw it up. When people are so used to something and you redesign it, it's very, very hard. And I don't think I've ever seen it go right. So that's something we're treading carefully with. We don't want to annoy people. So and one of the ways that we've kind of counteracted that in the past is by allowing people to use the old version and the new version interchangeably. So we'll release a new version and still let people use both. And then when people complain less and less and less, when we feel it's ready to switch over, then we'll switch it over. That's probably one of the biggest sort of lessons that I've learned in product marketing. It's better to have two versions of stuff and use the negative feedback loop to sort of make the new version better until it's good enough to sort of stand by itself.
Where can we find out more about you and the work you do?
So check out our blog. We're actually rebuilding the blog at the moment. We're going to post a lot more sort of a lot more stuff about the internal workings of the company. A lot of it's very tactical. It's like, here's how you can use the app to do X. But we want to do a lot more, here's how we do customer support, or here's how we're bootstrapped. So here's how we manage our finances, or here's how we have a completely remote team. Here's how we build our remote team. Here's how we communicate. Because I think, that's some of the stuff that was really important for me to learn. But I learned it not through somebody else, but by trying and failing. And whereas if I had somebody tell me, some of the ways to do it, would be really beneficial. We want to post a lot more stuff like that. But other than that, you can check me out on Twitter. I don't post very much.
What's your handle?
It's at the Jippo. It's because I'm from Ireland. When I first came to Australia, that's when the movie Snatch was out. So everyone started calling me a Jippo because I was from Ireland, and it just stuck. So the Twitter handle stuck as well.
And the company's website, what is it?
It's Gleam.io. Twitter's at GleamApp. But like, if anyone's watching this, they can just shoot us an email if they've got any ideas. We'll ping back, whether we think it's feasible or possible. Show them what's the potential. And at the end of the day, the app, there's no right way, there's no wrong way to use it. There's just what you want to achieve. There's some best practices, but I've seen some people do crazy stuff that I never ever thought would be possible. I'm like, that's never going to work, and it worked. I saw this campaign recently where these guys give away 1,000 fidget spinners. This is when fidget spinners were just getting big. I was like, what are these things? There's no way this is going to work. And what they did was they partnered with a YouTuber that reviews toys and does science experiments. He had about 1 million subscribers. And these were like a completely unknown fidget spinner company. They paid him obviously to review, and he gave away 1,000 fidget spinners live. And they got 1 million entries inside 24 hours. Crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, that's never going to work. And it worked. So sometimes you just got to think outside the box and, don't do what other people tell you to do. Do what you think is best. And you might surprise yourself.
Thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure.